Hey guys, my name is Better Break Studios, and today I will be announcing the results for my LEGO Transformers build competition. I did get quite a few entries, which is really great to see a lot of participation. A lot of them are very different in ways that I didn't expect. A lot of new faces. I haven't seen most of the people who submitted into the build competition, but anyways, the way this is going to work is I'm going to list a few things I really liked about the LEGO Transformer and some things that I didn't quite like about it. And then at the end I will give a final rating out of 10. And then at the end of the video I will announce the winner. And after this video goes live, after it's like done premiering, I will give the winner their reward. Starting off with Here But Not Here vs. Games, he made a Nemesis Prime, which is actually pretty cool. Starting off in vehicle mode, I think he did a really good job capturing that G1 Optimus Prime design. It really does mimic that original G1 design. If there was any issue I could have with it is that the back doesn't have as many wheels as it's supposed to and isn't that well detailed, but as he stated in the video, he didn't put that much effort into it. He said he got lazy with it, which I understand. Sometimes I just really want to finish up something and get it out there, kinda like this video. But another issue I have is there is no like grill on the front. There isn't really much detail there, but overall it looks pretty good in truck mode. Now once you get into robot mode, I feel like this is the mode where it really shines the best. The head sculpt is really just spot on. It's a really good design for an Optimus, and I've seen it used, or at least a similar head sculpt design used a few times, but it never gets worse. That head sculpt is just basic Optimus, and it works anywhere. I really like how the hands hide away in the arms. That's pretty cool. A thing that I really applaud this figure on is it actually got the space to hold a matrix of leadership, and you don't see that very often. But since this is in Nemesis Prime, I bet it's the matrix of chaos rather than the matrix of leadership. Another thing I'd like to point out are the legs. They are a little wide in robot mode, which kind of sets me off, but it isn't too bad overall. Overall, I find this really great, but the only flaw I could have with it has to be the legs. They don't feel quite finished as the rest of the body does, but that's my only real complaint aside from the front not having like a proper grille. So I gotta give this an overall rating of 7 out of 10. Pretty good, but not the best. Now, second off, we have Fire Shot, which was entered by Plopey's Technic Mox, formerly known as Plopey 96. As you can see here, he transforms into a Cybertronian car with a big gun on it. I really like this mode. It looks very stylish and fast, while also being able to pack a punch. It's a bit gappy in certain places, but I could let that slide considering it's like a Technic mock rather than normal Lego. Now once you get into robot mode, it again looks better out of the two different modes, which is pretty cool. As you can see, the gun actually has to come off, but that doesn't disqualify it because it's a accessory, so parts forming in that case is allowed. Really like the way the arms look. They look very complex. The legs are nice and smooth as well. The head sculpt, although being pretty blurry in this picture, looks to be pretty cool. Overall, this robot mode just looks like he'd be fast and quick to battle. Overall, this is pretty good. The only issue I have with it is the gappy front of the vehicle mode. It really just looks generally good, which is normal for Plopey because he makes really good Lego Transformers. And I wish he was still doing them, but he moved on, which I understand. Yeah, pretty good. I'd give it a rating of, again, 7 out of 10. Pretty good, but not the best. Next up is Zakunatsu89, who made a Lego Transformers Sideswipe, but I cannot get images for it because I don't have access to the video. It seems to be privated, so I can't give any pictures or any ratings for it, so that's a disqualification from me. Studs present, which I really don't like anti-studs, but it's no big deal. In robot mode, he is also really smooth, and I really love that. He's nice and blocky everywhere, and that might be to a fault in my opinion, because he ends up looking kind of bland without like any added detail. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Rated about an 8 out of 10. I like the smoothness, but it is smooth almost to a fault. And then here we have a Lego Bumblebee made by the Transformium Lego. And that has got to be one of the best Lego Transformers Bumblebees I have seen, like, ever. In vehicle mode, he's very accurate, although he is rainbow colored, which kind of sets me off. I really don't like the rainbow color, but given all the different pieces he used, I see why, because it might be really hard to find all the other colors. So yeah, in vehicle mode, it's very detailed. From what I can see, the video he sent me was very short, so can't really see it that well, but it is extremely accurate. It's just baffling. Like, this is way better than the Bumblebee I made way back, and I thought that was one of the better ones. Yeah, really good. And then you get into robot mode, and he's just packed to the brim with all this mechanical detail. I really like the legs. The legs look really good. The door wings look great. There's very little backpack, He's got the accurate, like, 4 wings instead of just the 2. If there was any complaints I could make about the robot mode design, it would have to be the front grille doesn't do the thing where it splits apart and stuff, but that's just more of a nitpick. And compared to everything else in this build, it's just bafflingly good. Like, I didn't think anything this good could be accomplished with Lego, or even entered into a competition of mine. So yeah, it's overall really, really good. The only issue I have with it is the front bumper doesn't split apart. The head sculpt looks kinda eh, and the rainbow colors kinda set me off. Overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's just really the rainbow colors that kind of bring it down. Consider that amazing Bumblebee. Here we have Dead Treads, which was made by Bottle Flip. And that is... he's a triple changer, and I really, really think that's amazing. You don't see many Lego Transformers triple changers around. From what he told me, he figured out the second alt mode while just messing around with it, and I think it's pretty cool. As you can see, here's his Cybertronian jet mode, and that's a jet. Kind of reminds me of movie Megatron from the first movie, a little bit. Not really much to say because the image quality is a little low. It's hard to pick out the finer details. In tank mode, I think he's a lot more solid. But it is pretty cool than the jet mode. In the picture, you can't really see the cannon because it isn't in this picture. But it did come with a cool cannon accessory. Not much to say, other than it's a lot more solid than the previous mode, the jet. And I think it looks a lot better. In robot mode, I think I have to agree with Bottle Flip because this has to be the best mode of this figure. The torso section is a little too tall in comparison to the legs and the arms, but that's no big deal. It looks like he has a torso crunch in there, which is pretty cool, and I love the way the shoulders work. It very much looks like a Decepticon with all the spikes and sharp edges. He looks like he'd be a formidable foe on the battlefield. Yeah, the head's a little small, which is kind of disappointing, but still pretty good. Overall, I'd give this a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good, but not as cohesive as some of the others. And finally, here we have Rumblebee by Legomatic, and he's supposed to be a Decepticon version of Bumblebee, and I think he does a really good job of capturing that here in alt mode. Kind of looks like Bumblebee, which is probably what he was going for. I really like the amount of like smooth tiles. As y'all know, I really like smooth tiles. At the front there seems to be like grill vent thingies on the sides, right in front of the front wheels, and those look kind of weird. I don't know what's up with those. There's a few gaps here and there, but nothing to worry about. It's just really good in vehicle mode. And here we have him in robot mode. He kind of reminds me of Dragstrip based on where the wheels are placed near the shoulders. He looks very top heavy. There's a lot of stuff near the top. And the arms are like way too far down, in my opinion. And that's just a personal nitpick of mine. There isn't really much to say about that. The arms are too far down in my opinion. The legs look pretty good. He looks very articulated. But those arms being far down really kind of bug me. He does nail the look of a Decepticon, which is pretty good. Other than that, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Not the best. Those arms just really bug me, in my opinion. And with that done, we can finally get on to what you guys have been waiting for, and what you probably came for, the winner. And I'd like to congratulate the Transformium Lego for winning my first ever competition with his Lego Transformers Bumblebee. That Bumblebee is just flawless. Aside from that, the torso not transforming that much, it's just insane how accurate it looks, which with such a simple transformation, and it's just amazing. I'm out of words. It just blew away the rest of the competition, and I cannot recommend watching him enough. Like, it's just amazing. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.